Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Agathe Christie, Hercule Poirot und The Worst Cases. Wir haben gerade eben mit den Verdächtigen hier unten geredet und jetzt können wir mit Arch reden, dass wir in unser Zimmer wollen und da ein bisschen nachdenken.
My time with the guests is complete, for tonight at least.
Do you know who killed Major Hagen?
I am afraid it is not as simple as that. There are many steps that lead to the truth. I must think on everything I have heard this evening and dissect the truths from the lies. Merci for your assistance this evening. Au revoir.
I came here expecting to solve a case of blackmail. To relieve a family of a burden that has weighed upon them and overshadow a joyous celebration. I have never been to an engagement celebration where a death has taken center stage before. Also, the guests' alibis confirm each other's. I still cannot rule out the possibility of one of them being involved in the Major's death. The relationships between some of the guests and the Major were more than rocky. Dislike towards him was plentiful, but enough to drive someone to murder? This is now the perfect opportunity to think about everything I have heard today. Wirklich. I have all the information I need. I must now compile it together and find the most probable culprit. Hiya. Ernesto fronting money for the house. Cassandra has confirmed Ernesto's financial support, but to what extent does this support go? Threat to the Major. Ernesto had tried to intimidate the Major in his letter. Jackie. Jackie claims Margot is hiding something. Jackie's opinion of Margot is not that much better than of the Major's. What is it Margot is hiding? Advice to the Major. Margot claims the letter was merely advice for the Major. It sounds more like a threat to me. Jackie wants information from Hugo. Und Hugo has dirt on the Major. Das ist ja schon mal hier schön in die Nähe gebracht.
What a revelation!
When I first overheard their conversation, it seemed Hugo was trying to get Jackie to listen. Jackie pushing for dirt on the Major. Gideon hesitant to mention past with the Major. There is still something regarding the Major that he is withholding. Does Gideon have something to hide? Gideon wrote the letter. I have confirmed it was Gideon that penned the letter to the Major, warning him off. Ja, da haben ja so viele Briefe geschrieben. Ernesto cares for Cassandra. Ernesto cares deeply for Cassandra. Ja, das wissen wir. So. Es gibt noch 4 neue Verbindungen. Passt das vielleicht? Advice to the Major and Jackie claims Margot is hiding something. Aber wie? Vielleicht eher das hier.
Order and
Oh.
method.
Nein. Also, sie weiß nichts dann von Cassandra. Oder zumindest ist es nicht die Verbindung. Hugo invited by the Gideon. Passt das vielleicht dazu, dass sie zusammen arbeiten wollen?
Is there something I am not?
Nö, anscheinend nicht. Eieiei. Was könnten wir dann haben hier? Das passt hier überall nirgends hin. Major involved in the worker strikes. Vielleicht passt das zusammen.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Weil auf beiden Seiten steht immer, sie können sich alle gegenseitig ein Alibi geben. All the guests have at least one other guest to confirm their alibis. Reach a conclusion based on what you have learned so far. Die haben alle Briefe geschrieben, aber kann ich die irgendwie jetzt zusammenbringen? Vielleicht der hat einen Brief geschrieben und er hat einen Brief geschrieben?
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps
Nein, diese Logik gibt es offenbar nicht. Vielleicht, dass der Brief und dass er was weiß über die Vergangenheit.
magnifique.
His history with the Major combined with threats to his well-being definitely show intent. Gideons motive, retribution. Haben wir das dann vielleicht hier auch? Intimidation und Chaos.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Blinded by both love and greed, he may have struck down his opposition. Ernesto's motive, jealousy. Suchen wir vielleicht noch ein Motiv. Hier steht, sie weiß viel, dass sie viel weiß, und hier steht, dass sie was verbirgt. Vielleicht passt das zusammen?
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
Nein. Können wir da vielleicht doch sagen, dass sie vielleicht doch zusammengearbeitet haben?
I must act on thought and fact.
Nein, kann man nicht. Und ich glaube, die zwei hatten wir schon versucht, ne? Ah, das passt auch nicht so. Resents und er repressed irgendwas. Irgendwie will ich da eine Verbindung herstellen, aber da gibt es wohl nicht. Weil das habe ich schon versucht, oder?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Echt? Ich habe gedacht, das hatte ich vorhin schon mal gemacht und es ging nicht. The letter she sent protecting Cassandra was threatening indeed, and Jackie seems unable to determine her secret. Margot's motive protection. Ja, das hätte schneller gehen können. Oder klopft es laut an der Tür? Who could that be at this time?
Entrez.
Detective, I'm sorry I did not join you in the salon as requested.
Sie hat eine ganz schön harte Hand an der Tür.
Please, mademoiselle. There is no need to apologize.
I was with Maman in her room. She would not allow anyone to see it, but I could see she was terribly upset.
Most understandable.
Do you have any suspicions as to who could have killed him?
I'm afraid my suspicions extended across all of the party's guests. While it seems as though their alibis all corroborate one another's, the disdain and hostility towards the Major makes them rife with motive.
I know there was some bad blood between the Major and some of the guests, but not enough to kill him, surely. She may seem tough on the exterior, but she's really quite kind when you get to know her.
The Countess? She is a formidable force I would not want to come up against.
Don't be silly, Detective. She wouldn't hurt a soul. Jacqueline, I mean.
Mademoiselle Konrad? She was in fact the least suspicious until now.
I assume that's who you were talking about, Detective, after what happened between them.
That is a story I have yet to hear.
She must have told you about the piece she was writing on us, about Gideon's work and our marriage.
Somehow, that was the only thing she did not mention.
That's strange. I thought that is what she would have started the conversation with. Well, she had come to the house to interview me, and when I entered the library, she was there with Felix amid a rather heated conversation.
Do you know what this conversation regarded?
I'm afraid not, but Felix was quite enraged. He picked up an envelope from the table and stormed out, slamming the door behind him.
And Mademoiselle Conrad?
She was equally heated in the moment. She had a few choice words for him that I wouldn't care to repeat.
How is Madame feeling now?
Better, thank you, Detective. She's resting in her room. It is the best place for her.
And you, Mademoiselle?
I'm not quite sure. It is a rather surreal feeling. I did not think I would miss him like I do.
It is understandable. He has been a close friend to your maman for many years.
And to me, Detective. We had grown close. After Father's passing, he was always there for me. And now, he's gone as well.
You must try and not think on it like that.
It is easier said than done, Detective.
I have no doubt, but you can be assured the culprit will not remain at large for long. You have my word.
If you were in my position, mademoiselle, who would be at the top of your suspect list?
I'm sorry, but I just can't imagine any of them committing such a heinous crime.
It can often be hard to look past one's personal feelings for someone and see their flaws.
It's not that, Detective, it's just they have known each other for years. Why would any of them act now?
I was under the impression the Major had merely a business relationship with some of the guests.
That's true, but those invited know each other, some of them for years. They may not seem like it, but some are even friends. I should return to my room now, Detective. It has been a trying day for us all.
Oui, mademoiselle. I am afraid tomorrow may bear a resemblance, but I will not stop until I have found his killer.
I am certainly glad you are here, Detective.
When and where a detective is required, that is where I shall be. Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle has left me with an interesting thought, one I had not considered until now. But at first glance the guests do not appear to show much fondness for each other. Mademoiselle is quite sure that is not the case. Perhaps I must consider looking at the guests together, and not individually. Angeline van den Bosch. Jackie bumped heads with the Major. A confrontation occurred between Jackie and the Major. Is her hatred for the Major seated deeply? I wonder. Guests have known each other for years. Angeline is quite sure they are closer than they initially appear.
Is there something I am not seeing?
Na, ich habe gedacht, dass das jetzt vielleicht hier passt. Entweder die oder die. Irgendeine gehören ja wohl zusammen.
This will not get me any...
Nicht? Also,
Come, my
Auch
little
nicht.
Grisel.
hätte ich jetzt wirklich gedacht. Okay. Die zwei gehören zusammen. Wer hätte das gedacht? Jackie pushing for dirt on the Major. And Jackie bumped heads with the Major. Okay, zweimal Jackie.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Dachte, das wäre das Wichtige gewesen. Dass die vielleicht als Gruppe den anderen gedeckt haben. Irgendeinen,
Things
der
are
weggegangen
beginning to
ist.
become clearer.
Ja, bei mir noch nicht. I now have all the motives from the guests. Who is under suspicion? The Major. All motives confirmed. I have all the motives from the guests. Who is under suspicion? I doubted Jackie's involvement with the murder, but now I am dubious of her innocence. Ja, vielleicht?
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover.
All the motives confirmed. All alibis.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
I do not know who I can trust or whose stories I can believe. Are the guests innocent? All guests are suspicious. And the guests have known each other for years.
What a revelation!
I now doubt how trustworthy their stories may be. They may well be covering for each other. There is no physical way one of the guests could have killed the Major and returned to the party, unless that is where I am mistaken. It is not one guilty party. I should be looking for rather multiple. Ja, das habe ich ja auch gedacht, ne? Dass es eine von den Gruppen war. Und die ist vielleicht... Ja, obwohl die sind Brüder, die wären schon mal nah beieinander mit Margot. Oder die drei. How could I have not considered that the Major's death was part of a plot created and executed by more than only one of the guests? It came almost as an epiphany following Mademoiselle Angeline's remark about the guest's shared past. Perhaps Mademoiselle will become the trusted ally I now sense may be essential to catching the guilty parties. Tonight's questioning was only the beginning. I will allow my suspects to sleep on their stories, and we will see how they fare tomorrow. Perhaps one of those involved will have morals enough to show a glimmer of regret. Considering they may be working together, I cannot be sure who has told the truth and who has attempted to sell me down this flue. The floof? Floif? Perhaps I should sleep on the matter. A good night's sleep will surely bring a new dawn of thinking. And what a better setting to do so in than the peaceful falling blanket of snow that surrounds us all. Also, it seems not everyone has the same idea. Es sieht aber nach einem Mann aus, der da läuft. Chapter 5. The Secret. A restless sleep combined with the image of the eerie figure in the snow has only convoluted what my little grey cells must consider. I should not have expected this to be a simple case. I have been lied to by at least one of the guests. Their alibis all confirmed each other's, but I know this is not to be true. How the Major was involved with the blackmail eludes me for now. Once I have confirmed whether he was the author or recipient, I can consider my next step in my investigation. Gideon paid it off. Ransom value. The writer was demanding 5,000 francs. Whether he received it or was yet to send it is still unknown. Angeline. Angeline cares about the Major. She states he has been part of her life for many years. Jackie. Jackie was writing an article about the couple. It seems that Jackie was writing an article about Angeline and Gideon. Zack. Zack mentioned the war again. Don't mention the war. It is not the first time Zack has steered the conversation towards his time in the war. Archibald.
Good morning, Detective. You slept well?
I'm afraid I did not. I was hoping for at least a moment of pleasant slumber, but alas, it was not to be. Finding the Major's killer is the only thing that will put my mind at ease.
In that case, Detective, what can I do to help?
While watching the snow fall last night, I swear I saw a silhouette of a figure standing in the garden.
In that snow? If someone was out there, we'd have another body on our hands.
I realize how strange it sounds. I would not believe it myself if I had not seen it with my own eyes.
Staff have reported seeing things in the dark before, but it always just turns out to be shadows. It was likely just your mind playing tricks.
Doch nicht bei Hercule Poirot, also bitte. I did not see Mademoiselle Elizabeth last night.
I'm afraid our Lizzie is not well. I
Lizzie?
think the events of yesterday were too much for her. We'll have to just make do without her this morning.
As Wordsworth once stated, rest and be thankful. Perhaps a chance of peace and relaxation will work wonders.
I'd like to also speak with Madame van den Bosch at her earliest convenience.
She is currently eating breakfast alone in the dining room. It's how she prefers it. But if you wish to speak with her now...
It is important I speak with her, but perhaps it is better to allow her to finish. I do not wish to upset her before I have even asked my first question. I could perhaps investigate the garden for any evidence of the figure from last night. Would you permit me access to the house telephone?
I would, but I'm afraid I found this morning that the telephone lines aren't working. The snow continued through the night and must have damaged them.
Ja, was für ein Zufall.
Even if we could use the telephone, I don't think anyone would be able to reach us.
In that case, it will be up to myself alone to solve the case.
I'll let you know if anything changes. But until some of the snow clears, enough for the carriages to arrive, we are snowed in.
Mit dem Mörder. Also, I'm not able to call upon or leave the house to find help from the local authorities. It also means none of the guests are able to leave. I have until the snow clears to find not only Mademoiselle Angeline's blackmailer, but also the Major's killer. About the Major's body. Am besten draußen lagern, oder?
Taken care of. Master Dramir and his brother, after sobering up, helped me move him into the cellar. Best place for the time being.
Très bien. I imagine there is no reason for anyone to go down there.
Besides me, no one. Once this snow clears, we will be able to move him from the house.
Your assistance has been most valuable as always.
Dann schauen wir doch mal ganz schnell, was sich hier ergeben hat. Inspect the garden. Archibald. Inspect the garden. Brothers moved the body. The Demir's brothers have moved the Major's body at the request of Archibald. Aha, aha. Ja, dann wird's Zeit, dass wir mal in den Garten rausgehen. Aber ich würde sagen, das machen wir nicht mehr heute. Machen wir an dieser Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.